Welcome back to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where our conservative victory tour continues tonight. And joining me now is perhaps the most prominent conservative in the state. Many are speculating he will make a run for the presidency in 2012. Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty, a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Hey, Governor,
Thank you.
I'm
doing great. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
We're glad that you're here. I don't think that your title for your new book, Conservative Victory, is going to be, I think, very accurate come November. So thanks for promoting
Well, we can certainly hope. You've made a lot of news in the last couple of days. The Minnesota Attorney General rejected your request to file a lawsuit, okay, and told you that you could file your friend of the court brief. You said you may bring a lawsuit yourself as it relates to Obamacare. Tell us where that stands.
I'm going to. Yeah, we have a Democratic Attorney General in Minnesota. She declined to sue. In fact, though, she said she's going to actually go into the lawsuit supporting President Obama's position. But to her credit, she gave me the green light to sue myself, and I'm going to, because this is an important constitutional issue. We live in a country now where the federal government's going to say to us individually, you either buy a good or a service or we're going to fine you. And by any definition, constitutional common sense, that's too far. That's an overreach.
All right, well, I agree. First of all, do you think these will be... You always got to worry, in my mind, about liberal activist judges. And you know what? It's a crapshoot in many ways. Are you confident that this will be successful in the courts? Or is it something that if we really want to ensure defeat, it could be defunded by Congress, that we've got to have an electoral victory in November?
There's another way to go about it is the funding, but I think we should give this litigation absolutely a try, give it our full effort, Sean. And by the way, if you get a bad judge at the district court level, you can always appeal. So, you can always get another shot at it.
All right, let's talk a little bit about presidential politics.
All right.
Are you 100% in? Have you decided you're definitely running, you're going to go?
I have not decided. I'm going to spend the next year trying to help the 2010 candidates and the conservative cause in 2010. Then we'll decide what comes next after that.
All right, but you're obviously thinking about, tell us the thought process, because I think it's such a big decision for somebody. Obviously you're the governor. You've got a lot of responsibilities. It's a big decision, the hardest job in the world. But clearly you're thinking about it, and you're putting in place the pieces that you might want to run.
Yeah, I think it's just really important, though, for all of us to focus on what's right in front of us. We've got a country that we love. It's in deep trouble. We've got an opportunity to stop the bleeding and take it back with common sense and the good people that gather here. And that's going to happen in 2010. So I think all of us should row in that direction, put our hearts and soul into that, and then I'll make a decision about what happens in the future. In terms of what goes into it, partly it's going to be, is my message something that people find attractive, needed? Is that something that can be done on a national level? And do they want me to be the one to do it? And we'll see.
All right, let me ask you this question. What do you think about where the president has governed, or how he has governed from this point so far?
Well, one of the things that comes to mind is it's a big bait and switch. If you look at health care, for example, he stood in Iowa on the night of his Iowa caucus victory, and he promised the nation, Sean, that he was going to do health care reform, and we need it. But he said, I'm going to do it with Republicans and Democrats together. He broke that promise. Yeah. And so he presented himself as a centrist, or at least his rhetoric was centrist, but he's a movement liberal, and he's directing the country in a very dangerous way.
Liberal, or is he a movement ideologue? Is he more to the left?
I think both. Both.
What did you think of, especially his comments that even if people are members of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, if they attack America with chemical, biological weapons, or some type of serious cyber attack, that the United States would take off the table any potential nuclear response? When
it comes to the security of the United States of America and our people, we should take no option off the table. I think that's a very bad decision.
I agree. What should America be doing? Do you think that he is too willing to criticize our friends and our allies, and yet try and embrace or reach out to? Do you think it's realistic to think that you can reach out to Hugo Chavez, Kim Jong-il, Ahmadinejad?
John, you're a student of history. You know this. History teaches us that it is weakness, not strength, that tempts our enemies. And when President Bush negotiated those missile defense systems with two of our best allies in the world, the Czech Republic and Poland, at great risk to the leaders of those countries, great political risk, and then President Obama came in and pulled the rug out from underneath him and reversed that decision. That's one example of equivocating, and we shouldn't be doing that in the face of our allies. We should not be separating ourselves from our allies around the world. We need to stand strong, and then we should have those missile defense systems as President Bush negotiated them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Tim Pawlenty. Governor, thank you for being with us. Thank you very much. And coming up, we're going to have much more from the Minneapolis Convention Center. and our campaign. We're going to be joined by veteran Ralph Reed, who is here to tell us how Republicans can win big in 2010. That and much more straight ahead.